Hi there, beautiful creatures, welcome back. So today I wanted to do a video response to Gaia's video on tattoo magic. And I specifically wanted to come at it from maybe not so much a magical spiritual perspective, but the way in which tattoos and having tattoos has really transformed my self-perception, my body image, and has helped me a lot with my struggles with mental illness. So I've touched on before that, or maybe I haven't touched on, but I've left in comments of other people that have discussed their mental illness within the spiritual community, that I do experience mental illness. I have been diagnosed with bipolar 2, and I was on medication for a couple of years to treat that symptom, basically, which, if you guys don't know, bipolar 2 is where you experience basically the exact same depression as someone with just regular bipolar 1 does, but you get hypomania and not hypermanic, basically. So hypomania is a sort of state of mania, but it's not as intense or as dangerous as hypermania. Or as you know, people who were bipolar used to be called manic depressives, because they would go from one extreme to the other extreme. So even though bipolar 2 people experience that incredible extreme of depression, they don't get as high as a bipolar 1 person, where they might, buy a car and go out and fly to a different country on the same day and lie to people and say they have 4 jobs when in fact they only have 1 job. That's actually a true story, by the way. My auntie is bipolar 1. She did all of that in 1 day. Anyway, so yes, that's the kind of difference between bipolar 1 and 2 to my understanding. But I don't really take labels in mental illness too seriously, and I am a lot better than I was before. I only take the labels because I think, like going into a GP, the doctor needs to know what medication to put you on when if you have a cold or flu, or if you need antibiotics. That's how I see people who are treated with medication for their mental illness. To me, it's no different, and I know that there is so much stigma around it, so I just wanted to put that out there, and I want everyone to see medication for mental illness in that same light. And it's been incredibly hard to try, especially with my family, to get them to understand when I was on medication that was basically the equivalent. It wasn't... yes, it can affect you. It has some nasty side effects depending on the medication that you're on, but so does everything, okay? So I'm gonna get that out of the way. So my struggles with mental illness have affected me throughout my life, and I just wanted to put a trigger warning out there. I might be talking about some things that are uncomfortable for people, and I don't want to upset anyone. So if you're upset by things, the discussions such as depression and self-harm, then please click off this video. Don't upset yourself. Look after yourself. So one of the reasons that tattooing has really helped me is I used to have incredible issues with my body image and my self-worth, basically, to the point where it led to episodes of self-harm throughout my life. Throughout my teenage years was the first time that I experienced it, early teenage years, and then later when I was about 18, 19, I went through an extreme episode of depression and anxiety and self-harm. And so that kind of contributed to all the different factors. I had all other sorts of shit going on in my life at that point in time. I was just a whole fucked up mess, and I was on medications, and I was seeing psychiatrists and psychologists. So I did eventually seek out help. But it took me a long time to get there, and then it took me even longer to recover. So as I said, I was on medication for 2 years, and for that whole time it was basically just rebuilding myself from the struggle that I had gone through. So I'm now off medication, which has been an amazing milestone in my life and my recovery. But I did want to say that, I do come from this place, this past, and mental illness is still something that I do struggle with on a daily basis. It's still there, and it doesn't just go away because you've gotten better. I've gotten better from some of the worst years of my entire life, but I'm still struggling every now and again. So when I started to get tattooed, this was a moment of pure kind of love for myself and for my body image. And I really struggle expressing this because I can't emphasize enough how much tattooing has contributed to my feelings of self-worth, and how much having tattoos on my body reminds me every day that I don't need to turn to self-harm to experience a sense of relief or a sense of satisfaction, that I can save money and I can go and get tattooed and have that same experience where you find the pleasure within the pain, and there is a sense of creativity and a sense of productivity, so that you're going to have this art on your skin for the rest of your life, not the scars on your skin for the rest of your life. And scars are something that I'm going to have to live with forever. I do have scars on my body from self-harm, and I used to be incredibly ashamed and have this enormous sense of guilt associated with those scars on my body. But now I don't really see it like that anymore. Like I said, it's taken me a long time to get to this point, but I see them more as battle scars. They are my sign that I'm still here and I'm still alive. And whenever I get tattooed, I have that same experience. I have this tattoo on my body that reminds me I'm still here and I'm still alive. So I try and get tattooed at least once a year. I'm getting tattooed soon, actually. And they are a bit like Pringles. Like, once you pop, you can't stop. It's kind of the experience of tattooing for me. Once you find a theme or a visual language or an artist that you love when you get tattooed, the pain of tattooing is so outweighed by all of those other factors. And then, like, when I look down at my feet, which is where I have my most tattoos, and I just have this sense of love for my body, for my art that's on my body, and for what I've chosen to express there. So I wanted this video to kind of be about that, and to maybe just let out things for myself, I guess. When I watched Gaia's video, all these thoughts came up for me, and I just wanted to make this video and discuss some of the issues that I've been having. And even though spirituality helped me a lot, getting tattooed helped me a lot in dealing with how I look at my physical body. And when I get more tattoos, I'm going to make sure I get them everywhere, because whenever I look at a tattoo on my body, I feel nothing but love for my body, and I feel nothing but comfortable in my own skin and present in my own skin for the first time in I don't know how. Any piercings, facial things, getting rid of my eyebrows, I have felt comfortable and accepting of the way that I look for myself and not for anybody else. And I kind of, all those feelings got dredged up for me when Gaia did her video on her experiences getting tattooed. And so even though it's not really a spiritual thing for me, in the long run, it contributes so much to my mental health, to my well-being, my overall physical well-being, feeling comfortable in this body. And that's something that I really wanted to share with you guys. I know this video is not very long, and it's a bit, what the fuck, where did that come from? But I just wanted to be honest with you, and I wanted to share my experiences, and I wanted to be open about my mental illness, because I do have one. And I just wanted to, in that way, be a bit more accepting of myself, and also maybe let other people know that they're not alone. They're never alone. And, you know, it's the people that maybe you don't expect, or the people that don't talk about it, that contribute to the stigma in a lot of ways. You know, we need to talk out about these problems for them to be accepted in the wider society. And it's something that's really, really hard to do, because it is all in your head until it manifests physically in forms of suicide, as the extreme case, and in other cases, self-harm, which encompasses a myriad of ways that people hurt themselves, and all that sort of stuff. So alcoholism, all that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to be open about it, and I wanted to talk about how essentially tattoos have changed my life, and how I keep planning to get tattoos until the day that I expire from this body and leave this form and maybe become, I don't know, something else. And yeah, it's kind of like, I don't want to leave this on a sad note, but I want to leave it on a serious note, in that if you are experiencing any of these issues, self-harm, depression, anxiety, the list goes on, And so many people do experience it, and they don't admit it to themselves, number one. And it's really hard to talk with other people about it. Like, I know, I've been there. Please hang in there and know that it won't always be like this. And find the strength to go through it, because you do have it. And if tattooing is something that you've always been interested in, and you have issues with self-harm, then consider it. So I don't know if that's the best advocacy for tattooing, but it's the same principle, you know, the same emotions that are evoked when you get tattooed. You know, you get a whole release of endorphins because your body is experiencing pain, but you also get a rush of adrenaline, so it's a chemical thing that happens. So you do find joy in it. And so I would recommend, you know, considering it. I don't know if that was the best way to end this video, but I'm gonna leave it there for now, guys, before I just turn into a pile of mess. It's so hot today, and I really wanted to make this video, and now I'm feeling really emotional because it's also the full moon, and I don't want to go in too much about my struggles, because I kind of have, and I just want people to know that you can get through it. And that tattooing for me has never been a negative thing, and it's never going to be a negative thing, and that it can help you change your perception of yourself and your body image, as it has done to me. And I would encourage everyone to look the way that they want to look on the outside, and fuck societal stereotypes right in the ass, because, you know, they don't serve anybody else but the broader mediocre society. And if you want to serve yourself, look how you want to look, regardless of whether that's shaving your head, getting heaps of tattoos, or regardless if you want to look like a Stepford mum. Like, that's awesome. Just look how you want to look, and fuck social stereotypes. And on that note, I'm going to leave you. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it's a bit different to anything else on my channel, but like I said, all these emotions were stirred up for me in the full moon and all that kind of stuff. I'll see you all in the next video, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.